how do you meet these GCs? So the investor has hired the GC and the GC is hiring you, right?
Yep.
So how did you meet this GC?
The first one, so I'm really bad at networking. The first one was at a Chamber of Commerce event. Literally, a guy walked up, he saw roofing on my polo shirt. I need a roofer. Handed me his card, shook his hand, and he walked away. That was a $600,000 handshake. I just followed up. This is the key. You have to follow up pretty hardcore. You can't just be one of the 5 people that they choose. You got to just really follow up and let them know that you want to be part of it. I was on a vacation in Puerto Rico, and I hid the phone so I could call this guy because I knew what the deadline was. And it was the day we were on vacation, one of the days, and I called him and he's like, "Yep, you got the job." So you gotta be persistent.
Sometimes you gotta hide your phone from your wife.
Sometimes if you want to get a $600,000 job, she was not mad at when I told her, so
Yeah,
it was fine.
she forgave you once she heard what
did.
you had sold.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'd say. I'm sure, again, I think there's lots of people that are way better at this than me, and they probably like, I know what this niche is all about. I know he's wrong about this and wrong about that. But I'm fairly certain that they're private investors who hire general contractors, and all they do is have a list. They live in California or New York or somewhere, and they just buy these properties, and they know how to file the right paperwork for the government programs for improvement. That is what I gather.
Yeah. This seems like a really good good reason to be involved with things like your local chamber of commerce,
Yeah.
EO groups, stuff like that. What's the other one? There's EO and then there's
BNI, baby.
BNI.
BNI.
Yeah.
The worst.
So I mean, it's a especially if you don't love the process of networking, like that's probably a pain to spend time. But you were saying you're bad at networking, and this is the second one opportunity that you've like this that you've come across. Do you think that if you spent more time networking, you would run across more opportunities like this?
I think it's more targeted. It's definitely not going to those. That was a needle in the haystack for real. Because this guy happened to be flying in town. He literally said, "I'm this new business development guy for this GC. I flew in town to inspect the property. I went to the Chamber of Commerce event. I saw roofer. Here's roofer card." That's literally what happened. Like he wasn't a speaker or a guest or anything like that. He just literally just crashed the party. It was at this airplane hangar. It was like this. Anyway, long story short, it was a cool party, but it was just the same. What I see in both Athens, Georgia and Savannah, Georgia, is that it's very clicky, and getting in with these clicky groups, it can help you. However, what we have found is that once you see the numbers on the roofing contract, that loyalty kind of goes away. So you better have something more than just my buddy's friend referral. Like we do well with referrals, but it's our own referrals. It's not necessarily like another buddy, a real. We have some realtors, we have some insurance agents, but I think that networking can work for some, but I think for the most part, having a really, really strong brand with great reviews and just being friendly. This project manager remembered me from 3 years ago because I was just really professional. I was always kind. I never gave them, and I was like blown away, truthfully, because I was like, I know this person. Like, she remembered me, and I never met her in person. So you've got to just be professional. You have to be kind to people. And you just have to be on your game. And that's how. I don't know this for certain, but I saw 2 other roofers there, and it's not even close. Like, I asked her straight up, are you gonna pick the cheapest one? She said, absolutely not. I'm picking on quality. And she is the decision maker. And the 2 other guys, like, sideways hat, driving their huge jacked up trucks. It's just like, it's super likely that we're gonna get that job. Just be professional.
Yeah. We'll have to do an update next week. See
I won't know until November. The bids go out into June. November they announce the subs. She may tell me before that, and then December 5th through the 30th or something like that. It's like a 25-day window we have to do the roofs in December, which will be great because our winter will be very strong.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. Well, yeah, that's an interesting. So it's like being part of these local groups pays off. You gotta.
It definitely can. And I'll say this. Okay, so we're not good at getting like HOA, Antis Roofing in California. Like that's their specialty. He's a super nice guy. I think his name's Charles Antis. He's awesome. He's been on the Roofer Show podcast, I think, at least once or twice. He's awesome. He's like a huge philanthropist. He's just a nice guy. Runs a really cool roofing business.